Thank you, everyone. First of all, I want to briefly introduce Asia Society. So Asia Society is a leading educational organization dedicated to promote mutual understanding and collaboration between US and China. It's founded by Rockefeller family in 1956. So this year is going to celebrate its 60th anniversary. As Professor Condon just mentioned, my colleague and I are also managing a Pacific Cities Sustainability Initiative. We called it PCSI. It's a collaborative dialogue which aims to foster long-term sharing of urban sustainability strategies between communities across the Asia-Pacific region. So by creating networks, PCSI brings government officials, academia, and private sector practitioners to share insights and experience through solution-oriented discussion. So in the past 3 years, Asia Society partnered with Urban Land Institute to hold annual forums in Hong Kong, Manila, and Beijing. This year, the forum will be held in Jakarta in early June, and our discussion will be focused on building innovative and climate-smart cities. We're hoping that some of you who are here could also participate in our forum in June. Actually, Professor Condon and Professor Wu Wei are long-term supporters of PCSI, and they have provided a lot of guidance during the whole process. So we're very glad to work with them, and very thankful for their support and guidance in the past several years. So for our forum, every year we have a different theme, which is relatively relevant to the host cities. But for many of the years in the past, we have some comments. We also have some common themes which are facing the whole Asia-Pacific region, and I also believe to also a lot of other countries, such as traffic jam, urban sprawl, gentrification, resilience to climate change. So although our main focus would be a little bit different every year, but these are always some of the topics we're discussing, because it's just common challenges facing a lot of the cities all over the world. Because I'm originally from Beijing, so I was kind of witnessed or experienced many of the urban problems in Beijing, and there's some new development with its urban development strategies in recent days that I want to share with you today. So just a few weeks ago, Chinese government just issued a new set of urban development strategies, which is actually a kind of overturn of the past development paths, which is super blocks, gated communities, and giant streets, which is eroding the livability of the cities, and also resulted in a lot of problems like air pollution, traffic jam, high price lands, single land use, all these kind of problems. So Chinese government is, after seeing so many problems, the Chinese government is trying to re-steer the direction, hopefully to the right one. So there's some new principles with this new guidance. The first one is to promote denser street networks. For this purpose, one of the solutions they're talking about is to tear down the gated communities so that to increase the navigability of the whole city. I think that's superblocks was actually also mentioned by one of our presenters just now. So I think that's one of the common problems in some of the cities, whether it's small or big. So the second one, they're trying to enforce the urban growth boundaries because urban sprawl used to be a very big problem in many of the Chinese cities. One example is in Shanghai. Shanghai has actually increased its area sevenfold in the past 15 years. There are also a lot of other similar problems happening in other Chinese cities. And also, in opposite to the past single land development, they are now trying to expanding mixed-use development so that people can easily make work-life balance and have a accessible distance to the recreation areas, to hospitals, to schools, all these places. In the past, in the megacities, this is really difficult, but now they're trying to do this. And also, they're trying to increase the prevalence of public transportation and increase the connectivity between different transportation options, which include light rails, buses, subways, all these kind of different transportation modes. So in Beijing, actually Beijing has a very convenient subway system, the public transportation system, but the problem is that the connectivity between the different modes is not so easy. If you want to transit from one station to another station, sometimes it takes 5 minutes to 10 minutes to connect between the two. So these are also some of the problems the government is trying to address. The other thing they are now trying to address is historical preservation and the city, one word they call city character. Like in Beijing, Hutong used to be a unique character of Beijing, but now with more people coming here and with the land, because more scarce, a lot of the hutongs was teared down. So to some degree, Beijing has lost its unique identity. So the government is trying to reverse this trend. So they are calling for to preserve historical architectures, retrofitting the old buildings and revitalize other urban areas, and to enhance the cultural continuity. The last one, the government is also trying to expand energy efficiency and environmental quality in the cities. In the past several years, they have experimented with many new concepts like eco-cities, low-carbon cities, spongy cities. I mean, the name is different, but the core is to make it more efficient, more environmental. Like one of our speakers just mentioned, to reshaping the city is always not so easy because some of the infrastructures, if it's already there, it's really hard to change. So I think one of the solutions he mentioned is incremental redevelopment, urban islands, this kind of gradual reshaping. So I was thinking that, I mean, all these new principles sounds really good, but to really realize it is still a long time ago. I was hoping that China can steer to a more sustainable development, because in the next 10 or 20 years, they're planning to bring another 250 million people to the urban area. So the different development patterns will have a huge impact, not only to China, but probably also to other countries. So that's something I was hoping to see, and also to through our PCSI forum to promote this kind of exchange between different countries so that the best practice can be replicated. Some of the mistakes made by the other cities can be avoided at the other cities. So that's what I want to say. Thank you.